Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I'd share how we budget whilst living on one fixed income and managing to put all the rest in savings. Since I'm newly self-employed after leaving teaching, I'm still very much in the beginning process of my business. So because of that and having a variable income, we made the decision to try our best to live off just my partner's wage. I absolutely love a spreadsheet. It keeps me sane, it keeps me on track with knowing where everything is going. So I actually ended up making my own budget spreadsheet, and that is what we use every single week to manage our money. My partner gets paid weekly and most of the time he does earn some overtime. So what we do with that overtime and my business money is put it straight into savings. But with that savings money, we do lots of different things. And because my partner does get paid weekly, there's certain times in the year where he actually gets an extra paycheck that month. And because I'm a budget freak and I know where everything's going, every penny is allocated, we can actually take those extra weeks and put them straight towards our savings goals. And that is because we do a budget on a 4-week basis. So I'm still very new to editing on YouTube, but I will try and have my spreadsheet behind me or somewhere on the screen. I'm going to look at it now, so if I'm looking away from you, that is why. First of all, in my spreadsheet, I have multiple different tabs. I have a dashboard, which shows the overview. I have an income tracker, an expense tracker, a category setup, which is within those. And then I have a savings goal section. First thing we need to know is what money do we have coming in. So I have an income tracker so we can see exactly what's coming in. I actually keep all of my social media business money separate and I don't include it on our budget tracker, and the only reason for that is just because I'm so newly self-employed that I'm still just trying to figure out exactly how it all works. I do currently set aside like my taxes and things, but to be honest, apart from the things that I actually have to pay out for my business, which isn't very much, I'd rather just keep all of it in that account for now, and then when it comes to doing like my self-assessment and talking to my accountant, I just have money there as a backup should I need more for like tax and other different things. So we're keeping that separate for now just in case. We are focusing just on Curtis's wages, and the way we do it, I have a few different columns. We have where the money's come from, we then have an expected column, an actual column and a difference column, and this is how I manage the overtime that he brings in. His flat weekly pay is £688.63, and as you can see from the actual column, this week he has earned £872.12, and because I have then set up a difference column, I know exactly what overtime he's brought in. So for this week we have an extra £183.49 to play with. We're right at the beginning of March, which is why we've only got 1 week's pay at the moment. So then what we do with that overtime I will get into more in a second. And then we have an expense tracker, and I just love this. It's so clear, I can see literally everything that is here. First of all, we have our fixed household bills. I like to break down absolutely everything. It is disgusting to look at our mortgage payment every month. Our 5.6% interest rate just makes me want to cry every time I see it, but we move on. We're actually currently within our mortgage renewal period now, so fingers crossed for a better interest rate. So we have a section for our fixed household bills. The way that I like to do this is I do just literally anything. So that also includes like subscriptions, it includes our phones, insurances, any household bills, essentially anything that is fixed every single month I just put into one section. I just find that a bit easier to manage and to see it. What I also like about this spreadsheet, I'm a bit biased because I made it, but what I do like is that I know exactly when things are coming out. So we have tried to keep most of our household bills coming out on the 1st. I guess technically we're always like a month behind or a month ahead, I don't really know. Basically, for example, like the whole of March we're putting away technically for like the 1st of April, and then for April we're putting away for the 1st of May. So basically when it comes to the 1st of the month and everything is paid, we have nothing left in our bank account, so we're building it back up again for the following month. We have the date, we have a category. I love this bit as well, and we'll come to like the separate tab in a second. Again, it just makes it so clear of what it is that has come out. So for example, this section is just household bills. For the description, you can then just put in whatever it is. If it's our mortgage, our council tax, our water, etc. The budget is essentially what we're expecting it to be, and then the actual is what it actually has come out to. So as you can see, for example, our water bill is £8.32 more expensive this month. This is why I love having this difference column, because it literally makes such a difference. Without that, we may not even notice that going up, and we may not even realize that we're actually paying out more. We've got a total section at the bottom, so we've got the total for the budget, the total for what it actually cost, and then again what the difference is left over. I then made us a weekly budget section. So if you've seen any of my content across any of my social media channels, you know that I always go on about our weekly budgets and what we allocate, and I just love it. It's literally like my favorite thing, and again it keeps us accountable. Because Curtis gets paid every single week, I again put in some dates. I basically just put in the day that he gets paid and the day that we can allocate those budgets. So we have 3 different budgets every week. We have food, transport, and we have pocket money. Pocket money is for literally just me and him. We're both in our late 20s, but I just like it. It's basically just money that we can keep for ourselves every week and do whatever we want with. And like we had with the fixed household bills, we have the date, category, description, budget, actual, and then difference. And then we come down below that and we have a variable expenses tracker. So what I do here is I track anything that isn't our household bills and isn't our weekly budgets. I don't put in like a food shop on here, because otherwise when we come to the dashboard it will count it twice. So I keep that within our weekly budget section, and this is literally just for anything else. So like I said to you earlier, any overtime that we have that comes in from Curtis, we allocate that into our savings. We budget completely based off of Curtis's base rate, so anything extra can be allocated into different sections. This week there was a difference of £183.49. Then what I do is I split it into our different sinking funds, and for this week we did have some funds that needed to take the priority. So for example, we have the birthday fund. Curtis's is next week, so I wanted to top that up. We have my car insurance fund that is due out on the 1st of April, so that's coming around really soon. We also have a Book of Mormon fund. We're not going to see that until next month, but we put that on my American Express card to get some points, but we pay that off every single month in full, so we're just putting any money towards that at the moment. Then we have a category section. This is not a very pretty tab, because essentially you're not really meant to look at it. It's just for within the categories. So I literally just have like household bills, food, transport, etc. And what that does within the expense tracker, where you can see the categories and like the drop down, for example, if I went to the dentist, in our variable bit I could just drop down, click health, put dentist, and however much it costs. So yeah. And then what we also have is a savings goal section. I'm not going to deep dive into that too much right now, but basically we can track our sinking funds, our emergency fund. I do have a little bit of my social media income savings in there, but that's more just to kind of roughly get an idea of what I've got. I use Monzo savings pots for our sinking funds, and I literally love it so much. I love being able to clearly see the different goals and the different things that we're working towards. It's literally so easy to add money in, take money out whenever we need it. Then we come to the dashboard. So this is where we can see our total income, our total expenses, and what is remaining. And like I said earlier, so basically we spent all of February building up our money to pay off everything on the 1st of March. So obviously at the moment we've just paid that off on the 1st, so it's coming up as an expense, but it's looking like we have no money for it. That's because we're now building up for the 1st of April. We're technically always in like the minus, but it all works out, if you get what I mean. I love this as well because we can clearly see exactly what we're spending in total and what is coming in total, and then the difference there. Also, like I said, the extra weeks that Curtis gets paid, I think we have 4 of them in a year. So apart from the weekly budgets that of course we would need that week, like the food, petrol, our personal money, the rest of that paycheck goes straight into savings. So every so often we get a big chunk added in. So yeah, this system really helps to keep our budget stable. It helps us to grow our savings and just essentially know where we're at all the time, especially because my income is so unreliable. So to basically have one fixed income that we can dedicate to all of our household bills, it really does make a difference. And then anything I bring in can just go into savings. If you want a copy of this spreadsheet for yourself, I do have it in my stand store, which will be in the description below. And if you found this helpful, I would love if you liked and subscribed or dropped a comment down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again in my next video. Bye!